Hi, I'm Dan Danford. We're doing a series of podcasts on Dad's divorce about various financial topics. We call the series Money Made Easy, and we address a different topic each week, usually that come from our viewers. This week's topic comes from a viewer, and it's a very common and very good one. My new wife and I keep our finances separate. I recently found that one of her major monthly bills is paying off a student loan which she defaulted on before I knew her. She ran into some tough times right after college and ignored requests to pay her student loan. She is paying a collection agency and getting beat up on interest and finance charges. Other than that, she and I have spotless credit. Any thoughts on how we can best deal with this $25,000 debt? Again, student loan questions, we encounter them all the time, and there are a number of different ways to take care of them. I'm not one of those advisors who feels strongly that you need to share a checkbook or anything like that. I mean, different relationships work in different ways. Some people work with one system and it works for them. Some people work with another system and it works for them even better. My wife and I, we share a common checking account, but we each have separate checkbooks. And it works really well for us, although at the end of the month, when it comes time to balance the checkbook, I leave that to her because she can figure out which checks came out of which one and all that kind of thing. Like I said, this works well for us. It probably wouldn't work well for everyone. One issue that I like to raise when the topic like this comes up, though, is the issue of secrets. And though I don't necessarily think that you need to share every dollar that you spend, I think secrets are troublesome, and this explains why. A lot of this happened before you two were together. I understand that, but now, for whatever reason, the two of you are going to have to work together to solve the issue. And that's what we're talking about today, is some things you can do. One more point I'll make. A lot of financial advisors, and even I, spend a lot of time talking about debt and what an issue debt is for many families. I don't want to downplay the role of debt. I mean, consumer debt is a really bad thing. But in the scheme of the world and all the different kinds of debts that you can have, student loan debt is one of the better. Basically because the interest rates are good, and more importantly, because the money was used to better yourself. In other words, you have better earnings capacity today because you have that student loan debt in your past. So I mean, much as I dislike certain kinds of debt, student loan debt isn't all bad in the scheme of things. Now, a couple of suggestions I'd make to you. One is, if there's a way, try to renegotiate this $25,000 loan. Okay, right now you've got an issue where you defaulted with a particular borrower and they brought a collection agent in. So now when you make payments, you're sharing part of those payments both with the collection agent and the group you borrowed from in the first place. There may be a way through telephone calls or through some other kind of contact that you can either negotiate the debt itself down in some fashion, or you can find somebody else to step in and take it over and at least eliminate that collection agency out of the system. So one thing I do is, just if you have contacts with local banks or credit unions or anyone like that, is make a couple phone calls and see if they have suggestions about how you can reduce or consolidate this debt. The second one is that there are actually companies out there that are student loan consolidators. These companies, that's their whole purpose in life. Some of them, I work with a lot of different people in a lot of different circumstances. One group of people that I work with are physicians, and many physicians have considerable student debt when they come out of medical school. There are companies out there that will take all those different debts from different sources and locations and roll them into one loan that can then be paid off, and it usually has favorable interest rates and favorable terms. You can find these places through an internet search. So just look for student loan consolidators and take a look at what they offer. You may be able to replace the old loan and collection agency with a student loan consolidator and come out ahead. Again, are there other ways you can replace the debt? One idea would be a home equity loan, maybe. If you've got some equity in your home, you may not, but if you do, you may be able to just forget the student loan part of it, and just go borrow some more money against your house, again, at a favorable interest rate, and replace that $25,000 debt and pay it back on terms that are more comfortable to you. If none of those things work, and maybe they won't, because I don't know your circumstance, I don't know your credit rating, I don't know any of that information, then the last best thing to do is pay it off as quick as you can. Okay, it's just as simple as that. It's $25,000 is a lot of money, but if you focus your attention on paying it down each month, you'd be surprised at how quickly you can pay it off. And truthfully, the sooner that debt is gone, the sooner you guys can step up in your financial situation. It may take a year or 2 years to do it if you make substantial payments. But you'll be surprised how much better your situation will be when you don't have to devote those monthly payments to this loan and can devote them to things that actually work better for you and your new marriage and your family. So those are my ideas on student loan. Those are my ideas on reducing student debt. If that's a problem for you, I'd suggest that you focus your attention on refinancing the money if you need to. If there's a good way that you can do that, see if you can find another borrower or a loan consolidator. And if that doesn't work, then just pay it down as quickly as you can. That's it for this week. Money Made Easy with Dan Danford for Dad's Divorce. We'll see you next week.